Some people have told us that they think the land should stay as a cattle ranch, but we disagree. We think that that's no longer appropriate, and we've struggled to always use the land in an appropriate way. Originally, that was just to keep it in its natural state, as the family did for a short period of time, and then they had a timber operation and a turpentine operation. And eventually, as cattle became more and more popular in the area, we turned to the cattle ranching business and then citrus. And now we're surrounded by development. We have urban services in the area, and it's time to do something else. We'd like to see a community here that everybody would enjoy living in.
Grandfather always tried very hard to take care of the land. He was always very aware of best environmental practices. He was really involved in soil and water conservation.
Because we own the property where Cypress Lakes is now, my dad would have to drive the cattle down 419 to the main part of our ranch to the cattle pens, and that was always fun to watch, this big cattle drive with lots of men on horses and bull whips and lots of noise and cattle moving down the road. It was very exciting to me as a child. This property has been in the family for so long, we want to make sure we do the right thing, because we know it's going to be our legacy, not only for our generation, but for all the generations that came before us, who put together the property one piece at a time. It was finally my great aunt, after her husband died, who was able to put together all the various tracts that became known as the Rybolt Ranch. I'm the fourth generation to be involved with this property, and I'm really hoping that we can do what my great-grandfather and my grandfather and my dad planned to do with this property when they purchased it, which was to see it be preserved and to use the land in a very appropriate and responsible manner. And we feel now that the most responsible thing that we can do is to establish a traditional urban neighborhood in an area that is now urban.
Our family has been here for many generations, and we intend to stay here for many more.
The climbing tree is this huge, beautiful oak tree that has been on the property for I have no idea how long, but it's a huge tree. And it blew over on its side during a hurricane when my mom was a child. And so when we were growing up, my grandparents would take us to this tree, and we would have picnics and play on the tree, because it's so neat the way it continued to grow once it tipped over on its side, and it's very unusual. And we grew up playing on it, and our children still play on it. So it's the third generation of children playing on this tree, which is really neat for us.